Hello there. Excuse me. Welcome to another talk. And today's talk is called The Narcissist and Their Temper Tantrums. In today's podcast talk. And very important to talk about because this is what they do, isn't it? Your narcissists, lefties, snowflakes, they're all the same thing. You see? Now, if you're older, if you're of an older generation, 50 and older, you probably think the left is like, John Lennon or something. But that was the old left, but that's the way it is now. That's the way it goes. Everything is manipulated, everything is inverted, you see? It's not how we think it is until you look a bit deeper. So the left was a good movement once upon a time, and now it's just a bunch of attention seekers. And these kind of people are tricksters as well. A lot of them, some of them try to jump on the awakening bandwagon, and they're not like that at all. They've never had any spiritual awakenings, they're not part of that movement. Keep out. Because we want this movement to be a clean movement, a very holy movement, right? We don't want a bunch of deceivers and Decepticons, coming in. And that's what they do. These kind of people are the kind of people that they'll say things on social media, the internet, to get a pat on the back, you see. And when it's not working for them, that's why the title of this talk is called The Narcissist and Their Temper Tantrums. They can't really pretend to be that character for really long, but that they tried to pretend to be. Because what these people are, they're like little babies. That's why I put this picture of a little baby crying. That's the mentality. You see, even if it's just going on, if you're in a household, and one family member, a parent, for example, is telling the rest to be quiet because of their views, then you're one of these people. You see, to change the way the world is, to awaken and to heal the world, we could do it in a day if everyone would just look within themselves. But what people tend to do, it's a subconscious thing. They deflect away from themselves, externalize everything, demonize someone or something, rather than take responsibility. You see? Because it's easier to throw a fit and have a temper tantrum and blame other people, when actually that is your shadow. That's the shadow is the subconscious part of you that is traumatized from past lives. And like virtue signaling, for example, doing things to get attention. Now that's not, to me, the behavior of a rational adult, right? If someone is nice to you, but you feel the need to be negative or aggressive or hostile, pay attention to how you feel in that moment. If you're having a temper tantrum, that is within you that is doing that. Even the other person might be triggering you, they might, but they're not the cause of the within problem within you. So I'm not, I don't do these talks, if you listen to my talks, I always try to give a solution, rather than just going on about nothing, you know, and the solution is to go within. That's it. That's the solution. The solution to all the problems in the world is that, because everything is vibration, energy, consciousness, and that's what everything comes from. So if you change the consciousness, you change the energy, the vibration, then you change everything. And that's why the people that have made the most difference, I always say this, that the people that have made the most difference in this mass awakening are those that are going through spiritual awakenings. Right? And you know, we need to look you need to look within yourselves and say, are you having a temper tantrum? Are you a bit OT, as they say? You know, and start looking within yourself. You know, looking within yourself by meditating. You know, you don't have to do a particular type of meditation. You know, one of the ones I do is I just sit, there's no music on, and I just let whatever's within me come out. And I've done that for hours sometimes. If you can't sit by yourself in your own emotions, then there's a problem. And then all them temper tantrums will come out, right? And in meditation, you won't hurt from it. You'll be able to understand the root cause, you know, the trauma itself, without going through the trauma of it and being more traumatized. So that's the solution to this, you know, narcissistic behavior. And what the system is obviously trying to do is to divide everybody, you know, get everyone to take the, you know, the thing they want people to take, and doing it by dividing everybody. But the solution to that and how you defeat that is to understand that it's within us that the problems lie, you see. It's like German new medicine proved that all illness comes from, they said, a conflict, shock, trauma, which is in the psyche, and that produces, because remember, there is no physical form. As science has showed us, you know, that everything's energy, that we just experience it as form. So that's the solution to, you know, the narcissist and their temper tantrums. You see? Pay attention to how you react during the day. You know, forgive yourself. You know, that you have to do that quite quickly. Because if you get that stress hormone, I can't remember what it's called, but if that gets going, then your whole day can be ruined. So, you know, forgive yourself. You want to work on that. And meditate upon, you know, what is it within you that made you react? You see? And then you'll see that the other person or situation just triggered that off. So what they've done is they actually helped you, you see. You see? And what you do in this situation, you incorporate the negative experiences eventually into your meditation. That's what I do now. Because that's what it is. Your life is like a meditation. But yeah, that's the solution to these temper tantrums, because it's, you know, like I've said earlier in this talk, that it's not very mature, like, is it, to go off like that? It's not. I used to be the personality that I've got now. I was the complete opposite 10 years ago. And I'm not going to blame parents. I'm not going to blame this. I'm not going to blame that. It's me. I take full responsibility, and I take full responsibility for changing that. And it began from an unexpected spiritual awakening when I sat down. I was 24. I'm 34 now, and I had enough, basically. And then I never meant anything before. I was never authentic, and then it manifested this awakening. And That's why I give a lot of solutions on narcissism, because I've went through that myself. Before you're awakening, you're obviously going to be narcissistic because that's the society we live in. So basically for 10 years I've been healing that. And all the good stuff that people want in the spiritual community, like Kundalini, Tantra, that's your core essence. You can feel that all the time. So, but the way to it is to heal. That's why I do a talk with the title, The Narcissist and Their Temper Tantrum, but I'm not demonizing the narcissist all the time. Because the truth is, we live in a narcissistic society. But if you live in an alcoholic society, for example, how are you going to change it? Well, you have to heal yourself and then try and help others. But, yes, it is a bit ridiculous when you see these people, going in a shop, they're rubbing their hands in hand sanitizer, looking around. Is anyone seeing me? This is obviously, you can laugh, but there's something really wrong. There's something what is it within them that is making them want to do things like that and act like that? Same with the lefties and, acting like they act. It's so childlike, but not in a good way, in a way like it's like a 4-year-old traumatized child. Little girls that think they're women and they just go from one partner to the next. And they're doing the same thing that their parents did. As John Lennon once said, that 99% of the parents that are alive are half dead. So you've got to be the one that awakens, right? Before you have any children. If you want to do that, of course. Not all of us are meant to do that. You don't have to have a child to be a father to a child. What I mean is by being the example of what to be, and then you show other parents what to do. That's what I'm doing. You see? Because we're all connected, so all the children are your children. If you be the example, then they will look up to you. And that's what it's all about. You see, but if you are watching this and you're reacting negatively, I'm not going to demonize you and stuff. Because I've been there myself. And I'd still do react to things. Even if it's something like lefties, how I'm like, well, how am I feeling about this? Yes, they're ridiculous. But what I perceive as ridiculous, it's all about how I feel. Because if it's negative, then that's something within me. Because I'm manifesting that, right? So pay attention to that more. Doesn't mean you should stop looking at what's going on in the world, but have more attention on your reaction. You see? And then, that is the way forward. That's the solution to all the problems. Inner healing. And that is the road to ascension. So that's the solution to your temper tantrums. Or, the way that these people act, and it's a lot of people, because that's just the kind of society that we live in. That's what the system wants to create, because it's a confused system. They're confused people. But I believe that it's all like a movie, and I think it's already happened. And I think that the ones that are awakening now will be the heroes, and the ones that are conforming will be known as the cowards, the sheeple. You see, so you want to make sure that you're on the right side. This is a spiritual war that's going on. But spiritual war meaning it's a within thing. The war's already happened. It's a movie, right? Written by God. And God is the one infinite nothingness. But within that nothing is the infinity of all life. Because it has to be to produce life. So it's already happened. So you just make sure you do the right thing. and go within you, and that's how we heal everything, including the narcissists. And I'm just going to leave it there. For latest updates, talks, news, research, and much, much more, please do check my website at www.lovelifefamily.com. Thank you.